up numbers, 99 bombs, and I still kept it 100. Yeah, who don't play, 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 who don't play, 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 who don't play, 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 who don't play, 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 who don't. Long time coming, black on the bottom of my feet from running, cataracts under my eyes from hustling, going from buying and selling to customers, run up the business, God is my witness, sun up to sun up from Monday to Sunday, we maxing our limits, my mind running like Tom Cruise on an action movie, moving a mission, they say that I'm tripping, I've been told I need a vacation, I'm finessing a visit, first class, my feet up high in the air on business,
yeah, on business, yeah. Okay. I love that. That's right. You know what it is? Welcome to TSR Live, everybody. I'm one of your hosts, Tone Capone. This is where we celebrate culture. And yes, we debate the norms, share our opinions on trending topics, and we probably make you mad a little bit.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. What's up, Roomies? It's Keke. I'm your other co-host. And look, this show is all about you. We want it to be very interactive. We want to know what you think about every topic we touch tonight. So jump in the comments, run it up, and put this in the group chat. Tell everybody to watch.
Yes, I'm your third co-host, Zach Book. And listen, this is the place you're going to hear from your favorite artists, reality stars, content creators, influencers, anybody who's shaping the culture. They'll either be discussed here or they're going to pull up, man. Let's get the show started.
That's right. Roomies, are you ready? Let's get it. All right. Lincoln Heights, Ohio. Whew, it went down. Do you know what was going on in Lincoln Heights, Ohio? Yeah. I mean, it was really crazy. And if you don't know, let me tell you all about it. Now, in recent responses to a neo-Nazi demonstration, residents of Lincoln Heights, a historically black town with a black mayor and an all-black city council, have launched an armed neighborhood safety patrol.
Wow.
Now, they did this to protect their community from future racist threats. Now, joining us now to discuss it is Council Member Durance Daniels, a spokesperson at Lincoln Heights Safety and Watch Program. What's up, Durance? What's happening, good brother? Welcome to the show.
Hey, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? It's good seeing everybody. How y'all doing?
What's up?
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, got the computer. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Like I said, man, I don't go anywhere without my community, man. So I appreciate you having us.
Absolutely. All right. Just first of all, for the Roomies who's not tapped in and anybody else is just joining us, tell us what exactly happened on February 7th.
Man, so on February 7th, you had some rusty, dusty, wannabe Nazis kind of pull up into our community. The craziest thing about that, where we really, were felt offended by it. If Nazis, they're going to do what they want to do. White folks been white folking, and, we weren't surprised by that. The craziest thing is that when our sheriffs, who we pay with our own tax dollars, and even their police officers who's not even a part of our community, come through and start escorting them, trying to stop our community, telling our folks in our community that this stuff isn't worth it, and things of that nature. So you can see on camera right now, as you just saw, they're escorting those folks back into a U-Haul, which is completely illegal. So on February the 7th, you had Nazis coming to our community. As you said before, historical African-American community with a lot of pride, a lot of tradition. But you see right there, it's the police that we really were offended by, and how they chose to aid and abet them, and chose to once again create a barrier for us in the community.
Wow, I know that had to be shocking. What was your initial response after you saw how the police responded to you all?
Well, once again, the initial response was by these folks behind me, man. They showed up and they showed out. Really did the job that we felt the police should have done, which was get that mess out of our community by protecting us. But once that didn't take place, as I said, as a council member, I thought it was my job and my responsibility to try to be that liaison between the police and our residents, because it seemed like what was happening is that the police officers were trying to set up a situation where they were trying now to arrest our residents. So once again, I felt like if I could sit there and tell our police officers, I said, hey, I think it's time for you guys to go. If you're really trying to de-escalate the situation, the best thing for you guys to do in this moment in time is, kind of like you said, break out of here, move on about it, and let the residents kind of, enjoy the day. But that's not what took place. You see, they went up there, escorted one of the neo-Nazis, not just out of the community, brought one of them back into the community, took him up to his Jeep, and then try to make sure he get his service dog as well, too. So we all know as black folks here in this community, our Hamilton County sheriffs have not been treating us with that type of respect for as long as we've been here. So when we see the clear differences in how you treat one community from another, especially one that is paying you with their own tax dollars, we responded. And we responded in a couple different ways. One, we pulled up to the Evendale Community Council meeting, once again, demanding that we had a report and an investigation with the report due in 14 days. And we also been holding our own sheriffs accountable as well, too. Now, that has come with a little bit of backlash, but our residents are strong and our residents are prepared to deal with that, because what we're not afraid of and what we're standing on is freedom. And that fear of freedom we do not have in this community.
Wow. Now, I believe you mentioned that it was your idea to start the Lincoln Heights Safety and Watch program, but what does a day look like for this program?
And I want to make sure I'm very clear. Yeah, it was not my idea, as I said before. How that took place after February 7th, and we just talked about the response that the police did not have. As you said, they were there, but they were there not for the community. So the community chose to meet, and the community chose to make sure that our young people got to school safe. That was the number one priority. Because when those neo-Nazis came, you got to think it was around 2:30, and that's right when our kids get out of school. So it was no importance, it was no level of urgency about making sure our young people were safe. So that's what the community wanted to make sure they did first and foremost. And then the first thing and the second thing that they also did is that they parked right in front of our senior apartment buildings. So we want to see our seniors were safe as well too. So the Safety and Watch program, I know that's a big thing that a lot of the news wants to speak upon. It was really just a response to make sure that our kids were safe and that our seniors were safe. And in response, the community said, hey, what else can I do to help out? Can I send emails? Can I cook meals? Can I make sure that we're doing rides as well too? You know, even if I'm not an individual that chooses to use a gun and things of that nature, can I stand up on my porch and make sure the young kids are safe too? It's been a real community effort, but those foundations are laid into the community as well too. And we said, man, we're the first African-American community. So my grandparents are the same, their grandparents, my friends, their friends. It's all been one big connectivity. So this thing is just embedded into our DNA. It's our blood. So the response that we had, I know a lot of people are asking, how were we able to respond so quickly? It's because that's what we've been doing. And I know, as you see there, you see some of our individuals who definitely are using their Second Amendment right, because those Nazis continue to keep coming back. It'd be one thing if it was just one incident and it was something of that nature, but they continue to keep showing up. So we need to make sure, especially when we talk to our sheriffs, and they said that they weren't going to do anything different if they did come back, that we had individuals prepared in all situations to make sure that our community feels safe. And like I said before, as a Black man, and I can ask these individuals as well too, I've never felt safer ever. I've been feeling knowing that our community is protected by the residents here in Lincoln Heights.
Love that. All right, Deron, Ohio gun laws say you can purchase a gun without a permit or a background check, but we know certain laws don't always apply to us. Have you had any problems from law enforcement with that?
So once again, we're not afraid of being free. We're not afraid of practicing every single Second Amendment right that we have. Now, if we're in any type of situation where we feel like our rights are violated, we will definitely lawyer up and use the best lawyers possible to make sure that they defend our rights as well too. What we will not do is go off of the sacrifices that our ancestors have made. Right? You got individuals that gotten their ass whooped by the police. You got individuals that gotten bitten by the police. Individuals that gotten sprayed down by the police. And all throughout that time, it was for us for this moment. So within this moment, we still are moving cautiously and trying to act like, the laws are for one individuals and not for the same. Then why did they get their ass whooped for so many years for this moment? So no, if there are any issues, and if the law enforcement chooses to provide us issues, like I said, we will stay as lawyered up as possible to make sure our rights are defended, because that's our rights to do. But that's not our biggest thing. Our biggest thing is to make sure our residents feel connected, feel unified, and asking every resident, how can you bring your best skill set to the community to make sure Lincoln Heights is what our founders wanted? And that's a safe haven for all African Americans, and all people that look like us.
Now, before you go, and forgive me if you've already mentioned this, but have you guys received any help from any outside elected officials from higher up in our governments, or just neighboring neighborhoods, other mayors that may have weighed in to kind of help you guys with this?
I'll say that the response and the that has come from worldwide. I don't want to say any individual politicians or individuals like that because there's a lot of legislation at play, and there's also an investigation, and we also have things that are taken care of the county prosecutor's office. But the response has been overwhelming, and we appreciate it. But with that same response, we ask everybody, look in your community and what problems do you see? Because everybody asks us how they can help us, and we say, how can you help your own community? By going out there, seeing what problems you have, and going out there and finding ways to work with your community to get it done. What the biggest thing that we hope that we can do is be an example. Because once again, what we are is our own community. We have our own government. We have our own police department that we control. We have our own fire department that we control. And we encourage other communities to find those safe havens as well too, or move to Lincoln Heights. But the biggest thing that we have and the biggest thing that we want to tell everybody is that, the support that you be given, we definitely appreciate it. But the biggest thing in this moment, if you continue to just support us and not support yourself, then everything that we're doing is in vain. So please, if you're hearing this right now, go out in your community, organize with your folks. When you see what this is nothing but family. And I'm sure you'll have that same family that you have in your own community. I know folks say, man, I'm scared, or how can I do it? Man, just go do it. Because when you face those roadblocks, you're going to find individuals like Miss Aretha. You're going to find individuals like RHOA. You're going to find individuals like Manuel Floyd that's going to help you get over that hump and continue to build this team that you have. So, yeah. Well, I'm supposed to say you too, Archie? My bad, man. You're going to find individuals like Archie. Let's go get you over that hump.
Yeah. It's good to see Archie can smile because he been over there mean bugging in them glasses. Archie,
Archie got the shades on and everything.
he's like, look, man.
This the man. It's the voice. He's the voice, man.
Love it. I love it, man. We appreciate you guys sharing your story with the world. It's amazing to see all this togetherness, man. And I'm sure you're going to be a shining light for other Black communities that have to face these type of challenges.
Yeah,
man, I appreciate y'all, man. Like I said, I love these folks, man. And y'all got me on my birthday, man. Yeah. The voice, man.
They are lit. I love how they stick together.
Yeah,
love it.
Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for joining us,
man.
Now let's move on to this. Our radio sis Angela Yee was on an interview today that's trending after her name was brought up in the conversation with the Breakfast Club. Let's take a look at what Angela had to say.
I will say this, when I initially left, they did say they were going to hire 2 people. So that was always the plan. So I'm going to be honest, I don't know what's communicated to anybody. I know Jess was out on maternity leave, and I know that's tough too, coming back. I know she's expressed, having a baby, postpartum, all of those things take a toll. And Lauren works really hard. And Jess does too, like she's on the road. And I think part of why they hired her was because of that. Like she does comedy shows, she goes on the road. That adds a lot to the show.
Has a strong following.
Yeah. But I think a lot of times it is social media that tends to get people riled up. It's outside forces.
I love how she gave both queens their props. Now, fellas, what do you think about it?
She should have said something. I think Angela Yee was the perfect person to say something because she's actually been in the room. She's a part of their Hall of Fame show. Yeah, and she again, guys, like we said it, this is radio. This is a radio type thing. And it just got worked out in front of the world. But we all know, like you guys are both a part of morning shows, and that's really one of the toughest jobs you can ever have.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and as you see, they all worked it out. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing that I like about the ending of this. It seems like they had the conversation for everybody to see, but at the end of the day, they worked it out. And both ladies are still working there. Both ladies are shining, and Angela Yee's doing her thing after going from the Breakfast Club to our own show. So shout out to all 3 of them.
Man, I ain't mad at them. I ain't trying to get that Breakfast Club check back. I got to be nasty.
That's how you do it, ladies. That's how you do it. That's how you handle business for all 3 ladies involved, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's do this real quick, man. It looks like Stephen A. Smith and LeBron James are having a back and forth this week. LeBron recently popped up on the Pat McAfee show and gave his take on his face-to-face with Stephen A. Take a look at this.
Okay, if a guy's not performing, that is all part of the game. That's all part of the game. But when you take it and you get personal with it, it's my job to not only protect my damn household, but protect the players. You know, and I think a lot of the media, including him, and I know he's gonna be happy as hell. He's gonna be smiling from ear to ear when he hears me talking about him again. Oh my God, he's gonna get home and grab some ice cream out of the freezer and sit in his chair in his tighty whities on the couch.
I hope at some point you two do get a chance.
Yeah, like,
but you're right.
Dude, like relax, bro. Like relax. Like seriously.
Yes.
Oh man, this was so cool. I'm not even gonna lie, man, to see two heavyweights, because I mean it doesn't get any heavier than Stephen A. Smith in sports and LeBron James, the two big dogs kind of going at it. But you know, I think what it was is, like I said, Stephen A. said one thing about fatherhood and what he wouldn't have did, and I think LeBron just didn't want to hear that. He didn't want to hear that. He got upset, and they had their moment. And then people are mad at Stephen A. for going back and saying stuff, but he didn't feel like he got his thing off. LeBron got his off. He got it off and walked off. But Stephen A., that's why he keeps. I would be mad too.
Absolutely.
I mean, here's the thing. You know, I love Stephen A. and LeBron, but you know, I feel like LeBron has had a career where he has been scrutinized within the media since he started playing. You know, since 18, no players even had the pressure that LeBron James has had when it comes to sports. Okay, so if it's anybody who understands scrutiny, it's LeBron, and not responding. Okay, only time we've seen him respond in this manner or even talk about anybody is when it came to his son. So I feel like we have to give LeBron the benefit of the doubt when it comes to this. We haven't seen him. We ain't seen him go crazy on nobody else. You know what I'm saying? But when it came to his son, he took it there. Right. I don't see nothing wrong with that.
Do you guys feel like Stephen A. Smith is playing fair? I heard that he brought up comments about LeBron maybe not being at Kobe's funeral and then later retracted that. Do you think he's taking it too far?
Yep. He's doing too much now because now you're talking about Kobe's funeral, but then a few hours later, you got to retract statements and stuff like that. So you're doing a little too much. Now, him talking about it, he definitely should do because that's what he does for a living. He talks about it. But to go in, be like, I should have said this and that, and you saying false things. And you and in his whole rant, he was saying that LeBron was hurt. You the one saying hurt because you the one saying lies.
See that, like, again, this just
nah.
And again, LeBron got his off. He got his off. So Stephen A. like, yo, and then
what you mean? Stephen A. got to get his off too. Yeah. Initially,
he in front of a mic every day.
Every day. Okay. LeBron came in his face. He literally came on the next day, said, we're going to talk about it 10 a.m. On First Take on the podcast. Okay. He got his off. That was when they were.
That was on First Take. That was on Walt Disney.
And no, he did it on his podcast as well that same day.
Yeah, he did. That's when it got a little spicy. So and LeBron turned around.
Said one thing, said something about it on the podcast, on his show. And then Stephen A. comes out and now he started talking about lies. Talking about he wasn't at Kobe's memorial. And why did I said that's the part that's too far.
And it gave that it can kind of get into muddy waters, almost like there's insinuating that there's things that he can maybe expose about LeBron that he's choosing not to.
Yeah.
I took that away from what he said as well. And when you get into that space, I think it gets a little crazy because you got to remember, LeBron is mad because you're critiquing him and his child and the things that you're saying about that. But like, now do we need to start exposing each other at this point?
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah. I mean, it's nasty work. But I know we got some more headlines.
Yeah, man. Other headlines, man. Russell Wilson and Ciara are headed to New York City. That's right. Russell Wilson just signed a 1-year, $21 million contract with the New York Giants. Shout out to Russ. And prayers and well wishes. There it is. So
with this one, Keke's going to now become a New York Giants fan because he loves Ciara's life.
Yes, I do.
And she loves Russell Wilson.
Yes, I do. I love that's a good man, Savannah.
She always says it's a good man.
Good man.
She loves, so she will be watching some Giants games on a chance to catch CC on the sidelines.
And that's Russell keep a job, Wilson.
Period. He always signing a deal for millions.
Yeah.
Multiple millions.
At the end of his, career, he's past his prime. You know what I'm saying? He keeps a job. And I think that's good favor.
So you look like you don't agree with him saying he's past his prime.
I mean, he is past his prime, but this, I think the biggest story is for this is because the Giants have the 3rd pick, and everybody was wondering if the Giants, because Shador wore Giants cleats in his last game, you thought that, maybe the Giants are going to get him. Now, to me, this signals that the Giants found out that somebody, one of those top 2 teams, Shador Sanders is going to go to.
Oh, okay. I can see that. I can see that. All right, let's move on. I want to say prayers and well wishes to Juju Watkins. As you know, the sophomore has left March Madness. Fans devastated after suffering a torn ACL on Monday against Mississippi State. However, March Madness continues and the Sweet 16 starts tonight. But well wishes go out to Juju, man.
Yes.
I know that was a terrible, gut-wrenching injury. I couldn't even watch the video watching her knee go in like that.
And
that
you
was
will
crazy.
bounce back.
Yes.
You will absolutely bounce back, and this is not the end.
She's a superstar.
Yeah.
Superstar. All right, guys, let's switch gears a little bit. A bond hearing was held today for Yella Beezy after being arrested for allegedly setting up a murder hit on rapper Mo3. Now, journalist Bryson Boone Paul was in court this morning, and he's here to give us the 411. Welcome, Bryson. What's up?
What's going on, everybody? What's going on?
All right.
Hey.
Bryson, let's jump right to it, man. Tell us about today's court proceedings.
Today was just a bond hearing. Actually, we got introduced to his attorney, Toby Shook, and they had to ask for a reduction in his bond that was at $2 million originally. And today they got it down to $750,000 for his bond.
Wow.
Okay.
Now, for the roomies who might be new to the case, he was originally charged with capital murder, correct?
I mean, he still is. It's the same.
Okay.
Capital murder, murder for hire.
Can you explain that charge to me? Because people are saying like he didn't fire off the weapon, but he's charged with murder. How does that work?
Okay. Well, he would be. It's pretty much like it would be like a RICO case, sort of. But they're trying to say allegedly he is the person that facilitated the hit in the first place. He's the one that made the offer allegedly to the two gunmen that took Mo3's life in 2020. But they're saying that Yella Beezy was involved through either communication or exchange of funds, and that's how it became a capital murder case. Because in Texas, anything that has to do with transactions as far as a crime is very severe and very serious, and being that murder for hire is one of the most gruesome crimes in Texas.
Wow. I got a quick question. I mean, for Texas rappers right now, the community, is this like a really shock to you guys? Like, this is crazy, because a lot of times we hear about most Texas rappers being, like that.
Yes, it is a shock to most, being that this happened, being that Mo3 was gunned down 5 years ago, and to have this come out 5 years later, it's a bit of a shock to a lot of artists in the DFW, based on the fact that it took so long, and just to it was a surprise. It was literally, I mean, Yella Beezy was promoting an album. He was getting ready to drop an album executive produced by Lil Wayne. He had a new song with Lil Wayne called Hit. And man, he was doing interviews. He was doing everything positive in the community. And all of a sudden, just one day, just in the middle of the afternoon, he was arrested after a warrant was issued 2 days before.
Wow.
Was
did Yella Beezy have any support in the courtroom today? Was his family and friends in court?
Yes, his mother, his management team, actually a lot of his family members were present, and also Mo3's mother came to the courtroom today as well.
Oh, wow. I've seen little stuff on social media, different, you know how they have the little evidence that they've said on social media, but none of that has been presented or anything like that yet.
No, not at all. Actually, today was at his bond hearing. The prosecution did reveal that they have a state witness that is ready to testify to say that he was a part of a conversation that included Yella Beezy and saw a transaction of $40,000 cash.
Wow. Yeah.
Yikes.
That's crazy.
Wow.
It's crazy. The video was released today.
I saw that.
Yeah, of the shooting actually taking place on the expressway, and you just see something like that, and I'm in complete disbelief. People were like, "Did Mo3 have a gun? Was he caught lacking? Like, what have you been hearing about it?"
Well, that was a story that 5 years ago they had talked about with him running around the passenger side of the car, being that he was known to have a firearm with him at all times, and seeing him run across to the passenger side. It does appear that he was trying to grab a weapon, but that's never been confirmed, being that at the scene of the crime, a firearm was never discovered. So it's not sure what he was doing when he ran on the other side. And by that time, the gunman had ran towards him with the firearm shooting. So he took off running in the opposite direction, and it ended. He was gunned down.
We definitely covered the murder of Mo3. Everybody knew about that, but to us, to the world, was there? We really didn't. I didn't know that there was a possible altercation between, like, they even had issues. Yella Beezy and Mo3. Was that known in the Texas community?
Yeah, in the DFW, it was known that they had. It would be either a rivalry or a feud that was, fueled by the success of both of them at the same time. And obviously they had subliminals in a lot of their music that could be directed towards each other. The feud had went on for a couple years before Mo3 was even gunned down. And there's been a variety of different origin stories for how this beef came to be. So it hasn't been concrete yet as far as what the initial reasoning was for their feud. A lot of it could say it was success. A lot of it could say it was over jealousy. A lot of it could say it was just an issue between them that could have been resolved that just grew bigger and bigger. It was a lot. It's a lot that goes into it that a lot of people, just have conspiracy theories about, I would say. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Wow. Well, look, we're going to have you back on the show as this case continues to roll through.
Yeah.
Thanks for checking in and giving us all of the details at this point.
Thank you. No problem. I appreciate the opportunity. I will continue to be at the courtroom every day for this trial. For this hearing. So
I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah,
Thank
definitely.
you.
Keep us locked in.
Man.
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Man. Insane.
For real. All right, Roomies, we are jumping into the trending playing game. But before we pick our seats, I want to bring in a couple of passengers that do a lot of traveling. All right, joining us now are comedians Jamal Doman, who travels and opens up for Michael Blackson, and Carmen Barton, who's currently on tour with Arnez J. Welcome to the chat.
Hey, y'all.
What's up?
Can y'all hear me? What's up? Y'all look good.
What's up? Welcome to the show.
What's happening? What's up?
What's up, Jamal, my homie? How you been?
Jamal, I think you're on mute.
Jamal, you're on mute, man.
Here I go. I'm good now.
All right,
there you go. I'm sorry about that.
What's up?
How y'all doing? All right,
Good
y'all.
to see y'all, man. Thanks for having us.
Good. Glad y'all are here. All right, let's play this real quick. Okay, this is how the TSR flight goes. All right, and Roomies, we want you to put your answers in the chat. Now, you have 2 seats to choose because there are 2 different flights, okay? You have a 10-hour flight. You got to choose who you sitting next to. And then you've got another flight that's a 1-hour flight that you got to see who you sitting next to or between, all right? So let's put up the graphic so they can see. But Carmen, I want to start with you. What's your seat assignment for the 10-hour flight?
The 10-hour flight. Let me see.
Where you sitting?
On me because I'm old. Let me see. I ain't got my glasses on.
Now
10-hour flight. Oh. I'm sitting next to Donald Trump. I'm cursing him out. I'm cursing him out the whole 10 hours. He gonna jump off the plane with me next to him because he's scared of black women too, baby. I'm letting Donald Trump have it the whole 10 hours. Let's go, Donnie.
There it is. All right, Jamal, who you sitting next to on this 10-hour flight?
Listen, this is incredible, man. I'm gonna take seat E in the middle of Kevin Hart and Cat Williams.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
For 10 hours.
I'm gonna try to see first thing who's the tallest, and I'm gonna try to see if I can start a fight between both of them. Actually, it'd be cool. I'm the peacemaker. I'm known in my family as the peacemaker. I think I'll be perfect in this middle row. and get their differences down. And by the time that 10-hour flight, they're gonna be brothers. They're gonna be brothers
That'd
again.
be cool.
There it is.
All right, Keke, where you sitting?
Oh, I'm sitting in between Usher and Chris Brown.
Of course.
wow.
Don't ask me why. Hey, my man watching, but I'm definitely sitting in an H.
Trying to lay on somebody's shoulder. Where you sitting, Tom?
I'm sitting in E, baby. I'm sitting between Jocelyn and Amber Rose.
Oh,
I don't know. I'm gonna pay for the drinks and see what shape.
You about to be all scratched up between them.
Yeah.
Look,
Right there.
nah, you need me to mediate it. Now, look, I'm telling you, I'm gonna see if they got some hot wings on there and some shots, and we gonna figure it out.
Y'all missing the money, baby. Y'all are missing the money.
where you sitting?
Right there next to the Prince and his wife right there in F.
Meghan Markle.
Yeah.
To the money, baby. I'll be by the time I had a deal.
Child, they
By
done
the time
left,
this
they done
2-hour
left the
flight
kingdom.
is.
They over here with us.
Yeah,
They
they
regular
right.
like
That's all right. That's what you think. I have them doing clubs and everything.
You had a Prince going walk through.
I got them.
walk through.
Yeah.
Oh
All
my
right.
God.
All right, now we're gonna do the other one. This is the 1-hour flight, y'all. So I'm gonna start with you, Jamal, this time. What's your seat assignment just for the quick 1-hour flight?
Oh, the same one.
Yes,
The
the same.
people. Okay.
Yeah, this is the only thing
what
that
I'm
changed the
looking at
time.
up here. Yeah, 1 hour. That's a quick one. I'm gonna do Russell. Is that Ciara next to Russell? First,
Yeah.
I think that's Ciara next to Russell Wilson. I don't know why they got a middle row because they married. But I'll sit between them. It's just an hour. They boring. It's gonna be a quick flight. Me and Russell go over some Bible verses. You know what I mean? Ciara played me her new album that nobody gonna buy. You know what I mean? You know how it goes.
Oh,
Hey.
My bad.
Dang.
Dang. All right, Carmen, who you sitting next to? Is 1
I
hour.
think I'm gonna go ahead and go with my sister this time for this 1 hour. I'm gonna get in between Usher and Chris Brown. Like that's a little bit of both ages, and I'm right in the middle. You know what I'm saying? I can go with the son or the daddy. So listen, baby, by the time they get ready to put me off for being inappropriate, we'll be there. It's only an hour.
All right, Keke, where you sitting?
1 hour flight. Jay-Z. Is that Solange next to him?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit there. I'm gonna sit next to Hov. Mm-hmm.
You're gonna be scratched up too.
Right. I got some questions though.
yeah, you got some questions.
What about you, Toe?
Maybe this is before. Does this happen? This 1 hour flight happened before they both get locked up. R. Kelly and Diddy, because if not, y'all probably would jump on a 10-hour flight. They about to come get you, bro.
Are you gonna sit in the freaky row?
Not the freaky row.
That's the freaky row, baby. That's
They're not gonna let y'all on with all that baby oil, so you can't get all that through TSA. So I don't know how y'all gonna handle that.
I was gonna tell, hey, they about them people on their way, big dog.
Oh, that's a crazy seat. That is a crazy seat.
I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Y'all missing it again.
What?
It's only an hour, but I'm sitting in B. Yes, sir. Next to Glow and Sexy Red.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that seat gonna smell good and stink all at the same time.
Okay, that leather gonna be burnt up by the time y'all get there.
At the same time, it's gonna stink a little bit and smell good.
don't do that.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Oh man.
Well, man. Well, we had fun with y'all, man. I want to shout out to Carmen and Jamal, man. Keep doing y'all thing, doing your comedy thing, man. Got any shows y'all want to shout out or anything?
This weekend, I'm headed to the Bay Area. So I'll be at Tommy T's in Pleasanton, California this weekend with Arnett SJ. So if you in the surrounding areas, San Jose, Oakland, come on through and kick it with your girl this weekend.
There it is. What about you, Jamal?
Absolutely. I'm in the Bay Area too. I'm in Fresno on Saturday night. Fresno. So you guys are listening in Fresno, California. I'm there Saturday night, and check out the Dope Dealers podcast.
There it is, man. Carmen and Jamal, thanks for joining us, man. Appreciate y'all.
All right. Thank y'all for having us. Y'all have a good one.
Thank you.
All right, y'all. Now, the Nothing But the Truth podcast is back in our TSR Great Debate Cycle, and they are asking an important relationship question. Look at this.
If a man is a good man on paper, right, but the sex is horrible, are you advising a woman to stay? Like, sex is not a big deal?
Okay.
He's a leader. He's patient.
Does he treat her well?
He does all of that. His
Okay.
dick is just horrible.
Then deal with it.
So just deal with horrible sex for the rest of your...
Absolutely deal with it. Get you a good man and sit the hell down. That's not something that a woman should be as concerned about. You know, we have more other concerns. Y'all have y'all's concerns. We have our concerns. Talk to your man and you know, work things out. But at the end of the day, if you have a solid man and the only issue you have is that he's not pleasing you to your you know, you have a hand.
Wow.
Yeah, it is. Call it Pamela. All right, now I want to ask y'all: is horrible sex a reason to leave a good man or woman?
I'm not leaving a good man over bad sex. Absolutely not. If everything else is intact, I like his mama.
Yeah.
He got good credit.
Yeah.
He ain't got no kids. What? You think I'm never coming up off that. We will work on the other part. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of tools.
What if it can never get better? What if he can never just get better?
Baby, it can get better. As long as one of us know what we're doing, it can get better. Okay. And as long as Amazon go drop off that rose, we're gonna work it out. I'm not leaving no good man over this. This is childish.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go, Keke.
I'm just being real.
There you
Now,
go. Don't
Tone,
leave no good. Huh?
Is horrible sex a reason to leave a good woman?
Right.
Is horrible sex a reason to leave a good woman? She good though. She cook, clean, take care of everything. I mean, perfect, fine, all that. But the sex is trash.
Be honest.
Yeah, hell yeah, I'm up out of there, man. I can't. I got to go. I got to go, man. No, it happened to me one time in my life. Once. And I was like, I just kept like, yo, like this is cool. Like everything is cool. This is cool. And it was just like, it had got, and the worst part about it is she like would want to have it. And then just, we would like, I'd be in the middle of like, this is weird and not vibey. And it was just like, when you go, because you go out with your lady, you hang out, or you hanging out with your lady, and she say something nasty to you, and you like, ooh. And then you get ready, you excited. You want it to be, you want it to be great. Yeah. Now I have stayed with women that we've had okay sex, but bad sex is nah.
I think it weighs more on men than it does on women, because we really think that's how you connect with us a lot of times. And a lot of times if it's bad for men, it's because we don't have chemistry and the connection. So if we're lacking in the sexual department, then we're probably lacking in other departments as well. Like it's other things that get on my nerves about you too. You know what I'm saying? Because it is, sometimes you can have a good woman, but it's just like it's whack. You know what I'm saying? So,
but I also think you guys have a little bit more of a comfort level where you feel safe leaving a good woman that got everything in play, because you'll find another one. Women, it's a little harder for us to find a good man with everything lined up, and we can just be honest about that.
Damn, you might have a
so
point,
y'all
though.
like, yeah, I'll leave it because you got another one.
Yeah.
We in a room right now.
Because you know, because you've been there. Because you done had.
This is y'all unicorns. Stop doing that, man.
I'm being honest.
You can't leave. Like a smart man knows, you leave a good woman, a woman that you got connection with. You know, if you've been dating, you know that you're not going to just walk out on the street and find another good woman. It's just not going to happen. But the thing of it is, like I said, so I've stayed, and I'm sure Zach or anybody else, you probably stayed with.
Right, because Zach know the truth.
You would stay with a woman that you've had okay sex with. Okay, with. It's cool. It might not be mind blowing, but it's cool.
Do you know
cool.
how many?
But
Tone, I hear you.
Bad sex is like this sex
Tone,
that
But if you know what you doing, coach your partner.
I did. I tried. It was just.
It's not the same, Keke.
You know, bad sex is different from chemistry. If we got chemistry, you just don't know how to work the parts. I can teach you how to work the parts.
I was in there. It was different.
That's something different.
But I got up in there. I was like, this is crazy. I need to get out of here.
Do you know how many men right now are in long-term committed relationship with women they don't like?
Yes.
They don't like their personality, but
so are women.
But that thing
in
is
relationships.
fire. But that thing is fire.
Yes.
Hey, let me tell you something. When
so
you
sad.
get you some fire, it's hard to go back to regular. You've been putting 93 premium. And then you want me to go to this every 7? Guess what? The engine don't run right. But it ain't the same. Okay. So you're over here trying to find the balance. Like you're like, as a guy, you like, I want to find a good woman who has at least, like Tone said, it can be okay and stay.
Yeah.
But bad is just a different level. Like it can't be bad.
Okay.
Why do you think so many mean women got they got men. You one of the meanest chicks in the world because that's usually the meanest and craziest ladies.
Or a woman with a lot of kids.
Yeah.
Different baby daddies. She got 12
Y'all
kids.
sticking around for that.
8 baby daddies.
But you know it's great.
She had 10.
She got 12 dudes that couldn't get up
She
out of
had
there.
10 kids. She had 10 kids when you met her. You still got 2 by her. That mean that thing.
Oh God.
Trust me. Multiple baby daddies dudes be like, but then you start thinking like, man, it's probably fire though.
Or you see the fine girl.
Or 2 kids.
Or you see the real fine woman. Got her stuff together. Look like great on paper. She ain't got no man.
Oh, is that what that equates
And then
to?
you hear, it might. Then you get with her. This has happened. This has happened before. I know. I was just talking to my boy. He got with her, and then he was like, "I see why she's single, bro." I said, "Why?" He said, "It ain't." He said, "I tried 3-4 times. It ain't
Not 3-4.
It ain't talking about nothing because you know you're not gonna go by the first time. You get at least 2, 3.
You try it out.
You try it out. You like, you know what? Maybe it was me. I need to do something different. And after a while,
put some antifreeze on it and try to see.
It started.
Antifreeze, we must move on.
All right, let's go.
All right, man. EPMD is saying new rappers are in trouble when it comes to having longevity in hip hop. I want you guys to check this out.
Well, everybody right now is trying to find a way, but the ones that the 90s and everything, we still understand what this is. We never left it. The new kids are in trouble because once it gets down to just this, you're in trouble because now you got to be able to say your rhymes. And how you going to say it without the auto-tune? How you going to be able to make it work without the song? Everything come into play when you have to rock that stage. Yeah, right. Keep that crowd engaged now when you get older in their career. Not the kids. The kids don't understand it right now. But when they get older in their career, I want to be out there rocking. Yeah. It's going to be a problem for them. Yeah. I tell them all the time, looking at the camera, to let them know, too. I hope that people look at this, too, to understand that when I tell kids they have to make music and won't be able to have a career, I hope they understand that. It's scary that when your years pass by, and you get to not even close to our age, but close to ours, and then before it, when you're gonna have to go to work, you're not gonna be able to go to work and get a show, and people not coming to watch you because you didn't make no music. Imagine you being 40-something year age and you're up there talking about bitch, slut, boom. It doesn't match no more. It matched when you was young. We made songs. So from the Rolling Stones era, from down to the OJs, down to where we at, to Keith Sweat, all the way down to the EPMDs and the Public Enemies, and them, we can rock forever because we made records. So if this is the moment, I hope you stack your paper and that you was able to put money away the whole 9 because you're not going to be able to have a job no more. Right. They're going to be there for you. Nobody's coming.
Yeah, because you didn't build that foundation on the way up.
Right.
To have a rapport with your audience.
Right. It's not real. It's a moment. Yeah. Not taking enough fun, but if you want to be able to do this, you better be secure right now.
Yeah, okay. Zach's going crazy.
Are you okay, Zach?
He is freaking out, but let's go ahead and get to the debate. What up, Roomies? You can definitely check in on this because Zach's about to spaz out. Today's rappers make timeless classics. Okay. Zach, go ahead.
It just, when the old school, you should have never gave old people podcast.
Oh.
Because when they get on there, they always talk as if the new generation isn't doing enough to stay around. The thing is, the people who are making music today are making it for their people that are listening right now. And if you're popular now, guess what? Those people are going to get older and they're still gonna like the people that they once liked. Yeah. Within that time, when we were listening, we didn't think there would be a millennium tour going around right now, city to city, for the 4th or 5th year in a row. When we were actually going to the Scream tours, and I'm pretty sure those people there didn't think that music was going to last. I'm pretty sure your community tone of old school true hip hop people, when they first heard swag surfing, I'm swagging. They probably didn't think that was gonna last 20 years, but it did. I'm pretty sure when they first made Back That Ass Up 20 something years ago, I'm pretty sure the old school, I'm talking about the originators of hip hop, probably like, Morgan with that, yeah, he not even saying real words. It ain't gonna last. All that's gonna happen is whoever likes that music within that time, they're gonna get older, and guess what? That music is gonna trigger memories in them, and they're gonna always like that music.
You're talking about now. I do agree with you in part, but before I jump in, Keke, what you think?
No, I agree with what Zach is saying. I understand where they are coming from by saying a lot of the music today is just, it doesn't stick around. And we see it. We can be honest about that. A lot of our artists come out and they get big deals. They make one hit and we never see them again. But every generation has that type of artist. I think it's irresponsible to say that, you know, nobody that in this era is making timeless classics, because let me tell you something. I will be playing Not Like Us until I die. So that is a timeless hit record. So you can't say that artists aren't making hit records and timeless music right now. They are. And it's every generation has a one-hit wonder. So I just think it's always wrong when the prior generation tries to
say they won't have a career. Ain't nobody gonna want to hear it.
Yeah.
I think they're just going from a whole, you know, you got to think about it. From EPMD, and then when the Nellies talk about, you've heard Nelly talk about, man, when I had to come out, I had to go against Jay, Eminem, Ludacris, blah, blah, blah. These are people that are coming out. There was a lot more big records, like a lot of big records. And I think that's what they're looking at it from the point of, like, in hip hop, there's not a lot of big records anymore. Not a whole bunch of them. But like when you say the Millennium Tour, when those are historic groups on that tour. And when they came out, you knew they were good, because when they dropped records, they were big records.
Nobody was sitting here talking about the Yin Yang Twins gonna last forever.
And
Don't sit here and tell me that was historic groups.
You knew that the Yin Yang. I was there. You knew that the Yin Yang Twins. You knew those records were big records when they came out. That you could play them now, play them then. You just know. You know it.
Yeah,
you've been in radio your whole adult life. You know big records, Zach. Stop acting like everybody makes big records, bro.
I'm not saying everybody makes big
records.
records.
When you hear them.
But what I'm trying to say is that man said that. Are we still? The question was, do I still make timeless questions? And what he said,
when you heard March Madness for Future, did you think that we were going to listen to it for a little bit and then stop listening to it? No, you know it's a big record.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm saying what he was saying. He said if the rappers are not going to be able to perform later. And what I'm saying is that's absolutely wrong. The ones who make the records, the ones who have in any generation, all of them can't do nothing. In any generation, everybody can't continue to perform.
Exactly, you're right.
But and what I'm saying is he talks as if they were making better music then and it lasts longer then. Guess what? Our generation ain't listening to him. We ain't going to see them. Guess what? The people who were listening to him when he was coming up are the people who go support his shows. And that happens in every single generation.
Do you agree that there were more? Do you agree that there were more? And I don't think he's talking about from you guys' generation. I think he's talking about from where we at right now in hip hop. Let's just focus right here, right in hip hop. Do you think that it's a lot of big records? Now, when you were coming, you and Keke, it was humongous records.
I'm right there with you.
They're not a lot.
I'm right there with you. I think the issue is
three girls is controlling the whole hip hop right now.
I think the issue is that right now we can put out music a lot faster. So when Nelly was putting out a hit, we had to sit with it. We watched it on 106 and Park for weeks and months at a time. We don't do that anymore. We don't even have those avenues to appreciate records like that anymore. Yeah. The moment an artist come out with a hit song, we talk about what's the next one. Hit me with another one. We don't sit around and appreciate records like we used to do 20 years ago. So because now we can make them in 15 minutes versus when you put out an album, you work that entire album for a year. Now artists putting out albums every 3 months.
Dreams and Nightmares came out. People still play it. I get what you're saying. It's people that's come out during the streaming era that have big records that have continued.
Everything tastes better when you put it in the oven. Let me tell you something. When you put it in a slow cooker, it's gonna taste better. When I put it in the air fryer, it might not. The roast ain't gonna hit the same in the air fryer. But let me tell you something. When you put it in the oven, it's gonna sit longer, and I'm gonna keep it longer. So if I can make it faster, it's not gonna be as good as something that took 2 months to make.
I'm going to the hibachi grill, man. I'm done. I got nothing else to say.
All right, y'all.
I'm trying to tell y'all. Okay, look, we got some Bravo Housewives news, which I am all the way for. Okay, Garcelle is saying that she will see us later for now, and she's leaving Beverly Hills Housewives, but. NeNe Leakes also mentioned that she's open to returning to Atlanta Housewives, fellas. And speaking of Housewives, we have a special guest today. Roomies, please welcome Shamea Morton.
Hey, Shamea.
Best friends.
Welcome to the office,
Shamea. Hi, beautiful. Hi.
Oh, man. What's going on? It's so good to be here with the Roomies, the best friends. I'm loving it. And y'all are speaking some facts when it comes down to this music.
Yeah,
Shamea, you just
we in
dropped
the
a new
oven.
song. What do you think about the debate we just had?
Oh, you know what? I agree. I mean, honestly, back in the day, I mean, because I am a little bit from back in the day. I'm not trying to tell my age, but we had to do showcases, be in front of A&Rs. You had to get the approval. Versus now, I mean, you see me, I'm posting my own record and putting it on my timeline as much as I can, asking my friends to do the same thing. I mean, you had to get a label to sign you to just even get the notoriety or just to get access to distributing, platforms or just radio even. Now it's like everything is at the palm of your hand. You can do it on your own. You don't necessarily need a major label. I mean, you want their dollars to spend, but yeah, I mean, it takes a year, like you said, just to break a record. And it's like now it's like overnight, like, oh, they like it, it's going viral. Okay, we winning. I'm at the BET opening up now. It's a different time.
It is. It is. Now you are a breath of fresh air to the Real Housewives franchise. Let me just say that. I have really
Keke.
been enjoying watching you, girl. And I know you have thoughts on this because we gotta cover this. Garcelle is leaving Beverly Hills. What are your thoughts on that?
I love Garcelle. I mean, I liked her as a scripted actress, but everything has its time, and she's like, I'm done with it. I'm over it. I wish her the best, but I mean, people gotta leave for new people to come in. Hell, I'm on the show now because other people left, so it could be a good thing. I'm sure it's not the
Okay,
last
well,
we'll see of her though.
yeah, speaking of leaving and coming back, every time we get a new season of Real Housewives, they tease that NeNe may come back or she may not come back. Or somebody asked her, what are her thoughts? And she's open to coming back to the Atlanta Housewives. What are your thoughts on her returning?
I'm here for NeNe. I mean, NeNe is a staple and a household name at this point.
Yeah.
She really did pave the way for a lot of the ladies that have been on this franchise and on the Housewives. I mean, honestly, you can't really read somebody and not give a NeNe quote. So I would love
Yes,
to have her
honey.
back and be a part of the cast when she's there. So I'm
And I
here
would like
for
to
it.
see the two of y'all run around together. I think that would be very entertaining, honey, because you're real rich. Remember when NeNe was like, I'm very rich? Baby, Shamea is rich, honey. Look at that clock.
NeNe
Y'all.
is hilarious. NeNe is hilarious. Y'all are funny. No, NeNe is hilarious. And I do think she brings the shade and her personality is so big and bubbly and bright. I would love to see her back. Absolutely.
Yes.
Shamea, y'all gotta bring on Keke, man, for sure. I ain't gonna lie.
Come
Y'all
on,
need to
Keke. Keke, you
Yeah.
found out you married to a rich African too, girl.
Girl, and I know you know where to find them. Okay.
Well, now, okay, we're gonna have to talk offline because I don't want nobody else taking yours. Okay, I got one just for you.
No, period.
Housewives of Tony Island.
But wait, Keke, you gotta tell me how you like them though. What you like? Because I don't want to mess up.
You're rich. Rich with no kids.
Don't matter. Just as long as they got a bag.
We know her type. Do they wear lugs?
Oh yeah, I do like a man
Do they wear lug boots?
with work boots on. I want my man to wear work boots all day. In the summer,
not work boots.
Yeah.
You gotta have them with the flip flops on. They got to have thong flip flops. That's the only way to get them, girl.
No,
that's how you know they got money for real.
Oh.
Them men in the thong flip flops and take bubble baths, they got real chips.
Well, I don't know about a bubble bath, but my husband will wear some thong flip flops, and he do not give a damn. I'll bring him home a shirt that says Jamaica, and he'll wear it proudly. Like, yeah, my wife got me this shirt. I'm like, you didn't want to wear the Gucci one? You didn't want a Jamaican one to dinner? Like, he does not give
No,
me
Gucci for you.
He's like, right.
Yeah, it's a trap because you can always hear you coming.
Like, gotta keep them right where they are because you know how Atlanta is. They're the tourists are trying to take your man, so I just keep them right where you at.
and thong flip flops, up Air Jerusalem.
Thong flip flops. Stop. Get out my people. Let my people live.
Let's go ahead and get to this. Let's talk about the season of Atlanta Housewives. Now, have you been surprised about anything at all? And have you watched any of the latest?
Day, I don't think anything really surprises me. I mean, I think fans will be surprised for what's to come. But I think my biggest surprise was probably my car. I was like, come on, husband, you still got it. I mean, I've been with this man for 10 years and he still just sweeps me off my feet. Like he just never misses. So I don't know. I feel like the luckiest and the most blessed wife, you know. I
That's
don't take
tough.
it for
As you
granted.
should.
And I'm actually really excited about this season and the group in its entirety. I mean, all the ladies, we bring something different. And I mean, you see, hey, they talking about us. So a lot of people didn't think that we would be able to come back, or they thought the show was dead. And no, it just needed a new wave of housewives.
There it
Yep.
Yeah.
is.
What about the
Mhm.
confessionals? Have you seen any of the ladies' confessionals?
I've seen a few from the first few episodes, and I mean, I can only speak for myself. When I'm doing confessionals, it's about a fun time for me. I like, to Joan. I mean, I grew up in Atlanta, so that's what we did. We joned at the lunchroom tables. Like, we just that's what we you gotta be quick on your feet. You gotta know how to throw the shade back and forth. You gotta have tough skin, because I mean, hey, somebody gonna read you for filthy, you gonna really be feeling insecure, like, damn, well, do I look like Flavor Flav for real? but but if it's in all it's all in love and in fun, then I don't think it's not a big deal. The ladies do have their moments in the season, but I'm here for it. Like, let's go.
Mhm.
There it is. Now, there are a lot of headlines going around about you and Portia's friendship being fractured or broken. Is this
Mhm.
true? Is it false? What's going on?
I love Portia. Like I said, tell everybody, like, that's been my friend for a very long time. So I'll never speak ill about her, and I always want the best for her. I do think that this is a new space for the both of us. I'm new as a housewife. I've always been a friend of the show. So just people even seeing me and my personality and all the things that I bring to the show, it's a lot. And I'm having to stand on my own and get out of the shadows. Um, I honestly, all I can say was just pray for us. I pray that our friendship can withstand this show, and we come out stronger from it. I mean, but like, I wish nothing but the best for Portia, and anything that she does.
Wow. Now you've been very open about your baby journey. How's that going?
It is one of the more stressful things in my life. I know you aware that I've had 7 rounds of IVF. I've had an ectopic pregnancy, and then we got Shiloh, be a surrogate. So I have another surrogate right now. Um, and we're just trying to, like, what does Mike say to Britt? We just throw it up in the air, make it stick. We trying to make
Okay.
something stick. We trying to make one
Okay.
of these babies stick. We do want a big family. My husband and I both come from large family. I have 2 older sisters. My husband has 4 siblings. So he wants a boy, and I want to give him his boy. He gives me the world. Why not? So we're trying,
Yes.
and I'm actively practicing, y'all. We practice a lot. It's just that at this big age, you just, I don't know. But hey,
Yeah.
God's plan and God's time.
There it is.
Absolutely. We'll be
Absolutely.
praying.
Yeah, definitely want you to get that done. All right, let's play a game of which
Okay.
housewife.
Okay.
I feel like, all right, let's do this. All right,
Let's
you need a
play.
confident to talk to real quick. Who you calling? Candy or Portia, and why?
Oh, confident. Probably Candy. Candy's gonna give me the good, bad, ugly. She ain't gonna sugarcoat it. She's a tourist like me. She tell you how it is, and she gonna definitely answer the phone.
All right, now who would you pick to be your kid's godmother? Phaedra or Cynthia, and why?
That's easy. Cynthia.
Okay.
Cynthia is so kind and nurturing. I mean, look at Noelle's life. Girl got it going on. I mean, she living a fabulous life because her parents provided it for her, and and she's just such an articulate, beautiful woman. So I know if all else fails, Cynthia gonna make sure my babies are okay.
All
There it is.
right, all right. Okay, who would you want to see return next season? Kenya or Marlo, and why?
Oh, that's hard. I would say Kenya. Kenya for sure. Um, Kenya she know how to throw the shade
Oh,
and throw
yes.
the jabs, and it's unfortunate that, we don't get to see her the entire season this season, but I feel like she should get another shot. I like her. I think she's been a part of the franchise for a very long time, and She's paid her dues, and she has a very strong fan base. She's Black Girl Magic.
Yes, she is now, and so are you, Shamea.
Aw,
I know a lot
thank
of
you.
people think this is your first time that you were offered a peach. You were offered a peach in the past, right?
That's correct. But if you're on this show, they want you to have your husband be on the show with you. And my
Mm-hmm.
husband was not with it. And he was like always supportive of me having a beach. He was like, you go, you do it with the kids. You got my blessing, my support. I just don't want to be on the camera. So, I did a little extra, little 1, 2. and, and then he's like, I might be able to show up once or twice. And that was enough for them. They were like, all right, if he'll show up once or twice, then we might be able to work with it. So that's how I
Okay,
ended up finally getting it.
Yeah. How has he been handling like the newfound fame?
Oh man, he has lawyered up something so tough. I
I don't
mean,
blame him.
as soon as
Smart man.
something nasty hits the because it's really unfortunate how I think we tear each other down as Black people. Like we can't have the same success as our counterparts and other people. Like we just it's automatically, oh, he must be a scammer, or he must be he's doing something fraud, or he's definitely he doesn't have his green card. It's just such nastiness and negativity. So anytime he sees something that he's like, oh hey, yeah, so I saw and they are
Mm-hmm.
on it. But so I mean, there are highs and lows to it. He's not a guy for the spotlight. He likes to play the background. And with all of the attention, he's just like, oh, this is a lot. Like, wow. He's like, I feel like I have a new boss. Like the internet is bossing me around at this point. They're dictating who I am. And I'm like, no, you gotta ignore it. Delete
Yes.
and block, just ignore it. It's all just noise. People are trying to figure out who you are, how you're so successful. But it really is just his hard work, and like he came over here, went to college here with nothing, and he really did build his business from the ground up. So I'm proud of my husband, and I appreciate the support that he is giving me in this season and doing this show.
Yeah.
Shamea, I gotta ask a question. I mean, you seem to have such a bubbly and like energetic personality and reality. We know that the reality, especially the Atlanta Housewives, can get a little messy. It can pull on your
Oh
nerves a
man,
little
what?
bit. But you're just like, yo, I'm here for all. Let's go. So tell me how you're able to stay in such a great mood about this.
Man, it's nothing but God, but I've always been this big personality since I was a child. My parents, of course, they were like, "We should medicate her," and my parents was like, "No, you're not thinking my child." But I've always been this way. Like, we would go to a museum, and the guy would ask, "Anybody have questions?" I'm like, "Me." I have like a million questions. My parents would be like, "Don't ask. You get 2 questions. That's it. You're not gonna take over these people's tours." So I've always had this very big personality. And it's crazy because when you read the comments, they're like, "Oh, she's got her piece. She's over the top." Well, guess what? That's me. I've always been over the top. I'm always got to be over the top. I've actually had a daughter that is now over the top, and I look at her like, "Oh my goodness, how are you worse than me? What are they gonna do with us?" I honestly just take it with stride, and I always say like, I would like to leave people better than I found them. Like I want to bring good to the world. I want to, and it sounds so like, oh, I'm auditioning for Miss America. This is the pageant answer, but that really is my heart. A lot of times, even when I'm going through some things that are like not so fun and very dark in my life, I'll just pretend to laugh at myself and everything because I'm like, this is like a damn movie. It can't be my life right now. I mean, I was battling my surrogate had breast cancer. My daughter was born prematurely with all the bells and whistles and all the things that could go wrong went wrong. And I had to just look at it like, all right, God, you have a sense of humor, but they say you got to praise him in the good and in the bad. And so that's what I strive to do. And he never fails me. He's not failed me yet. So I always try to live my life like it's a testimony because maybe I'm going through this because somebody else wouldn't have been able to endure it. And I like to turn my pain into the purpose, right? I like to use platforms like Housewives to showcase, like, hey, you know what? You can look at my life and say, oh, she's got it all, but guess what? No, she doesn't. She also has trauma and tragedy and things that bring strife and pain into her. But it's not how you. It's how you deal with it and how you handle it and how you persevere for it. And I turn on my gospel and I cry it
Yeah.
out, and then I bounce back because
Now
victory is mine.
I know for Portia, we got to bring it up because I will be playing some gospel music after seeing Dennis running around with Drew. Shamea, what do you think about this? Please.
I shared my thoughts and I got in a lot of trouble. I was told that I was
With
talking
who?
and speaking for Portia. They said, baby, Shamea, you are doing Portia's dirty work yet again. And I'm like, no, actually, I'm asking a question that everybody wants to know, like how you two ended up working on music together. I
Right.
mean, now granted, I've heard the songs and they sound really great. Big ups to the both of them, Dennis and Drew both. But personally, I'm from Atlanta. I've done music my entire life. I was signed in high school. I would have chosen some different directions to go in. Definitely would have got the blessing from my friend before working with her ex. I just wouldn't have done it. I oftentimes feel like sometimes that can overshadow all the good stuff. Drew's talented, but
She is.
we're talking more about her working with Dennis than we are about her music.
Yeah.
And I just think that I would have went in a different direction, but it is what it is. Portia says she's okay with it now. I mean, she's showing them love. So wow, I don't want to be a hater, good luck.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want that for me. I just would can't nobody work with Jiro Mikey Mwangi, baby. He's off limits.
I know that's right. I know that's right, girl. Don't come over here trying to fill out an
He's off
application.
limits. No,
Yes.
thank you.
Now, have you had a chance to kind of make things right with Miss Diane? A lot of the clips from this week have been going viral where she kind of mentioned, like, you got to watch Shamea because she's bringing you bad news. Have you gotten a chance to smooth it over with her?
Well, I don't know that there's anything to smooth over. What she said was hurtful. And I've done nothing but try to speak positivity on my friendship with Portia. And I wouldn't dare speak, nasty about her mom. I don't know that I could have prevented or done anything different because it's almost one of those situations where you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. If I hadn't told Portia about what was being said, then it would have been like, oh, so you over there, co-signing and listening to it. You didn't even tell me, you didn't even warn me. And then now that I've told her about it, it's like, be careful for the dog to bring the bone. That was a little hurtful, but you know what? Like all the rest of it, you just let it roll off your back and you move forward.
Yeah, well, I'm happy to see you guys move forward this season. I know it's a lot coming up and I cannot wait to watch.
Listen, you got to keep it live because it's going to be it's a great show.
All right. We got some more. We got a game to play.
Let's play this quick game, Shamea.
I'm like, don't be trying to end it. I'm not ready to go yet.
We wonder why it's
all right, let's play a game.
We getting ready.
Okay. Let's play a game.
So
Come on.
Here's the game. It's called the TSR playing game. Okay. So we're getting ready to put up a graphic and you have 2 seats to choose because you have 2 flights. Okay. You've got a 10-hour flight and you've got a short 1-hour flight. Now we're going to start with the 10-hour flight. Where are you sitting? Which seat are you going to choose on the long
For the long flight? Babe, if you don't put me in between my 2 favorites, Kevin Hart and Cat Williams, I'm going to be pissed. Lay me out right in between them because we're going to laugh our ass off the whole time. Oh, my goodness. They small, but they mighty and they funny. And I love them.
There it is. And you're going to have leg room because they both.
Come on. Exactly.
All right. Now let's do the 1-hour flight.
Okay, 1-hour flight. Where the graph go? Let me see it again.
Make it big.
Yeah, pull it up. Make it bigger.
They took it away. Let me see it again.
Hold on, they're gonna bring it back up.
Okay.
There it is.
So for the 1 hour, let me see.
It's a little blurry.
I know it's a little blurry. Let me see.
Yeah.
Man, go ahead and put me in between Michelle and Trump because I'm gonna stir the pot and I'm gonna be like, she said, we're gonna get it cracking.
For an hour.
We're gonna talk politics for a whole hour. I want to hear what the right versus the left wing say, what the Democrats versus the Republicans think. I'm gonna bring up my own drum. I'm gonna try to get them some documents for me in 1 hour. I'm gonna come with my own agenda.
There it is.
For sure.
Try to get a couple cousins out of jail. You know how I go. Call in some favors for me.
Come on now.
Shamea, thank you so much for joining us, though.
I just love y'all so much. Y'all have to let me come hang out with you again.
Yeah.
Y'all are so dope. And it's always so much love from the Shade Room.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Shade
being
Room. Thank you. And don't forget, y'all got, hey, hold on. You know I'm an artist now. And I'm sensitive about my art. You gotta check out my song, You Never Had Somebody like me. Check it out. Stream it on all your digital streaming platforms. Best friends, y'all gotta get it. And just play it and just love it. And if you don't like it, just keep playing it anyway, okay?
There it is.
All right, y'all. Thank
Thank you, Shamea.
Appreciate it.
Oh, I love her.
Talk about a ball of energy,
Man, saving that whole franchise, if we want to be real. She is.
She's a star, though. You can tell.
She's saving it.
You can tell. Content creator Minister Anthony is saying dating and courtship are two different things, and he believes one is more intentional than the other. Take a look at this.
There is an extreme difference between dating and courtship. I have done both. Trust me. I've been on both sides of the fence, right? Dating comes with you showing up. You have an interest for a person. You show up and you see what happens. You just go with the vibes. Not much intentionality there. Maybe y'all speak about marriage. Maybe y'all don't. Y'all ask each other just a little cute questions. What's your favorite color and all that stuff, right? But courtship is very intentional. Courtship says, I'm not just here showing up, but I'm actually starting with the beginning in mind. I'm coming here for marriage. Are you coming with me? Courtship takes more patience, more diligence, more intentionality. You understanding the person's character. Therefore, when their flaws show up, when their humanity show up, you don't overlook it. You address it, but it makes you stay. Dating says, our time has passed. We was cool, but I'm not cool with the conflict that has been caused here.
Wow.
I tell you. Boy.
All right, we're going to get to it. Join us now to discuss the difference is Minister Anthony. What's happening, big dog?
What's up, man? How y'all doing?
Oh, we're good. All right, let's go ahead and get to it. You made some good arguments, but does the difference really even matter?
For sure. Courtship comes with just intentionality. Like, I think one thing about dating where we could all kind of agree on is that it got so much piss in a pool that you have to ask a certain question. You can't say, are you single? You got to say, are you single? How did we get that far? Because dating has turned into the wild, wild west where you don't have to show up with integrity. You don't have to show up with accountability. You could literally do whatever you want. Courtship comes with so much intentionality that it also comes with a community around you where people can see your blind spots, and with intentionality comes safety. And I think we all can agree when a woman feels the safest, she the most locked in, and when a man creates space and creates safety as well, then we feel the most respected. And I think courtship just is the way to go. Dating has single-handedly destroyed our communities.
Oh wow! Oh, that's deep.
I definitely got a little pushback on it a little bit, but we got first. Let's hear. I want to ask these two, and we can chime in with you two. Do you think there's a difference between dating and courting? Let's just get there, Zach.
I mean, we can play with the words, but to me, I'm not gonna court you until I've dated you, and I feel like there's something there. You know what I'm saying? To even go further, like you can't have one without the other. Now, it's some people who will date you, or what you're saying is court you. As soon as they see you, they all on it. Like, what are you? You know, I've sat down with women like, I'm intentionally dating, and I'm courting, and I want to be treated like this, and that. Listen, I don't even know you yet before you start putting all that pressure on me. You know what I'm saying? Let me get to know you. Let me see it, and then I can decide if I'm courting you or dating you. You know what I'm saying? Courting is just courting is just an old school word that they said in the, back in the day that meant dating. You know what I'm saying? I think I think what you're saying, in my opinion, is like intentional dating. You know what I'm saying? Like dating intentionally. But how can I even know if I want to court you if I haven't dated you? So I'm gonna court you, and all I did is see your Instagram. All I did was shoot you a DM.
No. So again, I think let's start here. So the space that we in as far as social media, it can operate that way. But I think for the most part, again, if we're going back to the intentionality of a thing, even if we bring it back the old school way, right now, divorce rates is the highest that has ever been. The reason why I'm serious about this topic, right, is because from a mental health standpoint and from a ministry standpoint, I deal with people that's coming out of heartbreaks because they was not clear in who they was. People are putting people in positions in bed before they give them a position in their life. And that's the problem. The problem is that when it comes to dating, we allow this gray space where we'll play in the gray area. We want the responsibilities of a husband, the responsibilities of a wife, a girlfriend, a boyfriend, but we don't take on the titles of that thing, which comes with the accountability and the integrity of that thing. Integrity is not developed when you get with a person. You come like that. But I find many times that when it comes to dating, it also results in ghosting. If you are intentional about who you with and what you're doing from the very beginning, I can't ghost you because I already laid the foundation. I set a verbal expectation that my actions can now meet. And if it doesn't, then that shows your lack of integrity as a man or your lack of integrity as a woman.
Cause I ain't like you.
I want let's get Keke. Let's get Keke to respond. Keke, how about you? Do you think there's a difference between dating and courting?
I think there's a difference between it. I don't really use the word courting, not gonna lie. What I think about it is you have your dating season where you get to know a person. And then when you decide you like this person, now you're committed. Now you guys make a commitment to be in a relationship, to seriously date. If you want to call it courting, that's fine too. But I think there's levels to everything that you do. And you're right. In our times, a lot of it is the gray area. A lot of people, well, we was just talking. I've seen so many girls get their heart broken and then they go to the guy and he's like, well, we was just kicking. We weren't really in a relationship, but you're laying in my bed. You're doing everything like a relationship, but you don't want to put a title on it. So I think that's where the gray area is, but there's levels to it. You should absolutely date. I feel like you should date. You should have options. Once you find somebody that you like and that you gel with, then you all agree both to move on to the next level, which would be courtship and a committed relationship, and then move on from there to marriage. That's how I look at it. But
can I ask you something?
Yes.
I would love to hear everything.
So when it comes to dating, do you believe that you can date multiple people at one time?
You asking?
If I'm being honest, yes.
I think you can.
If I'm being honest, dating, yes. I might date you on Monday, and then I might go on a date with you on Friday, and may the best man win. What?
Am
I lying?
See, Minister Anthony, and let me throw a little caveat in there, and I know because. First of all, courting. When I hear courting, again, to me, it's an old word, and it feels like arranged marriages. Like she comes with a cow and land,
what?
and land. But then there's the new hot word. I'm dating with intentionality, and I think. Yeah, you should I'm not trying, you should be upfront with the person. I'm not trying to play games. I'm not trying, and you respect that, but still also the dating part of it you have to find out where you gel at, who you rock with. And if you are dating multiple people, you don't date 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 5 and 4. I mean, I do think like Keke would say maybe like you go on date, and date doesn't necessarily mean
you're not sleeping with them.
Exactly.
You're just getting to know somebody.
But that just seems to be the new hot word is I'm dating with intention, and people and women are coming in hot.
Yes, we are.
They're coming in hot like, yo, I need to know this. I get it, but let's find out if we like each other first. We just met basically off of the physical. Now we taking these steps. Do you agree or no?
No, I definitely agree. I agree there. I believe that you have to get to know the character of a person as time goes on, for sure. Do you like them? But then let's be honest too. Even like, again, I'm watching the effects of it. I'm watching people come out on the other end of it and saying, I thought we was this, but we never had that clear conversation. But we had the actions of the thing. So it's creating all these safe space. So then, again, dealing with single mothers, single fathers, every single mom and single father that I have counseled over the years, they always thought, or they was more invested than the opposite person. So when it didn't work out, it is always like, well, I ain't never said I was your boyfriend anyway. I ain't never said I was your girlfriend anyway. These are the conversations that's happening. So and it's too much preference going on around here. Like when we watching the relationship podcast, it's always to the experience or the preference of the person, where I think that even if, yes, we are different as people, but there should be some clear-cut boundaries and parameters as to how we doing this thing, because it's affecting our communities. It's literally building up blended households, broken
I agree. I agree that does happen a lot. But I don't think it's new. You know what I'm saying? I think now you can see a little bit more of it because people show their relationships more, and you can see social media and everybody's kind of looking at it, you know.
So let me so
I
look.
think
So with the point that y'all made as far as maybe you shouldn't date 6 people at a time, maybe 2 or 3. Do you believe that with social media, do the 2 or 3 count virtually, or are you talking about in person? Because we now have more accessibility than we ever had, had, and we could turn into whoever we want online. But the moment that somebody get close to us and they realize that, wait a minute, you were saying stuff that your actions is not matching up to. At that point, courtship exposes that. I have to step into this from the very beginning saying, this is who I am as a man. Hold me to it. Not, I'm a bait you as much as I can. We're going to see what's going to happen with it. Then we just going to go off vibes. I think that's like a get out of jail free card. I think you should be who you are from the very beginning and allow that other person to pick.
But what about the rushing? Which I know if you counseling people, you've seen people say, "Hey, all right, it's time, we got married. All right, I'm just going." You've seen this with the intentionality. People are like, "Okay, I'm moving. This is what I think I'm supposed to do at age 32. My mom said I'm supposed to be married. My mom, and let's do this." And we've seen those type of situations fail as well.
For sure. Like, and look, I'm be honest with y'all. Like in the ministry space, in the Christian space, you see this a lot. People get married, they get married in 30 days, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And here what the biggest issue about it. You still didn't get to know the character of that person, right? Over time. You just you love the idea of them. You like how they was talking. You like what they stand on. But just because that person is your church mate, don't make them your soulmate. Yeah, y'all pray. Yeah, y'all do all this great stuff together. But what do that have to do with that person being yours? I always break it up like this, y'all. 3 different categories. You got chemistry, compatibility, and suitability, right? So chemistry, if you're a dope guy, you could build chemistry with almost anybody, right? You could have interpersonal conversations. You could be around somebody, love their company, right? That's chemistry. Compatibility says, okay, we're gonna take it to another level. Not only do I like being around you, I like the conversation that we have. Now I'm gonna bring you into my personal space. I find many times that people stop at compatibility and they never get to suitability. Suitability is you are literally tailor-made for me. Like this is how that goes. It takes let me add another word. So it is intentional, but it's also a such thing as intentional pacing. It ain't 30, 45 days, but man, once we get to the 2-year mark, or once we get to the 3-year mark, we should already be discussing marriage. Courtship says this: I'm coming in here with my intentionality of marriage. You either coming with me or you not. But as I get to know your character over time, if this do not work out, me and you don't got a beef. We can still be friends because I love your character, but that don't mean you're for me. Y'all get what I'm saying?
Now that makes sense. And then,
makes sense.
but you put the words. See, the thing is, the difference than when I first saw the clip and when we were first talking, you put the time to it. Now you said 2-3 years. Now I can agree with that. But sometimes what's scary out here in these streets, Pastor, is when you jump out there and you in the beginning and you saying and you start talking about marriage early for a guy. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? Now these women, they will put on their best foot, like they gonna put on their wife. They put on I'm about to hook this man person, and you ain't seen the real them. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes, and it just might be my strategy. I want to see what you do without me giving you all my cards or what I'm planning to do with you first, because I feel like I can see your true character quicker. You know what I'm saying? If I'm sitting here saying, yeah, I want to be your husband, and then you go out with your friends, I want to see what you put on. I want to see what you do when you feel like you are single. I want to see the true you. And I feel like when you give up too much early, she gonna put on what she thinks that you want to do.
Ooh, he pardon, brother Bud.
And look, I also add to this too, because again, this is where the counseling and stuff come into play. Yeah, you look at the person's character, but you also have to vet their reputation. Before you got there, how do people view her? Like, what do people say about her when you take her on a date? How do people see, especially in her city? You know, it's gonna tell every single time. Like, how do people ask if you how do men respect her? How do men hug her? And then vice versa on the opposite end. You can always tell if a man is honorable, not by what he say, but how his friends kind of treat the woman. You give it up. So it's certain things that comes with this, where we just got to be very intentional, even intentional about what we say. I remember having this counseling session not too long ago, and I was telling this couple, it was this guy. He was like, "Yo, I can't stand when she nag, right? Like every day when she come home from work, she always complaining, and I'm a solution based dude." I said, "Man, here was the important part about like wise counsel and having people around you. Y'all don't necessarily got to discuss the heavy things every single day. Pick a check-in day, maybe a Thursday, where you give each other undivided attention. That's not happening in dating on a day-to-day. People not honest or transparent with each other, and you have to spread yourself thin. And let's be honest too, when you dating 3 or 4 people in this financial crisis that we in, you spending $160 on a date. You better save some money, brother. Get yourself one girl and log in.
That's the truth. That's why you got to get cheap dollars. I am gonna write a book on $50 dates. It's the way you can do it, y'all.
$50 dates is crazy.
I can get it done.
Minister Anthony, man, thank you so much for joining us, man.
I got one more question for the minister.
Yeah. Okay.
Minister, real quick, did you see the video going viral of Marvin Sapp locking the door and raising the money?
I did.
You ever done that?
Never. No.
I'm just curious.
Look, I'm gonna tell you. Look, I got an event. That's coming up April 11th. I don't even I don't even sell tickets. Like I just put the tickets up there. You come for free. I believe that if you about to sit there and try to make people give you money, that tells on your heart every single time. Every single time. Listen, I've seen so much stuff behind the scenes because I get to hear stuff about leaders before it hit the scene. Right? Like y'all the shade room is the Christian shade room out here too. They be gossiping spread in the air.
I don't be over there.
Yeah. It'd be a lot going on, y'all. So that's not the worst that I heard. But somebody when stuff like that happen, y'all, I always say to myself, yo, why nobody check them?
But it's not. Let me be for real, because I grew up in the church, and this is what he did to me was nothing new. I've seen that done a million times because his intention was not to raise money for him to go buy a suit. It was for whatever the cause was that they were there to donate to. So when you see something like that, the video goes viral. Of course, everybody and non-believers who've never stepped in the church have a lot to say. But if his intentions were in the right place to raise money that way, you know, I just wanted to get your thoughts on it as a minister.
I think one thing, and again, you have to always give context, right? Context is very important. So, but how he did it was a little cringy too. Like lock the doors, 40,000, right? Like it's like, all right, allow people to give from their heart whatever God is telling them to give, and I understand the donation behind it, but at the same time, there's other ways to go about that.
Okay.
Lock the doors is crazy.
Yeah, lock the doors.
And I know, and Keke, you're right. I'm a preacher's kid. So I grew up in the church and I've seen preachers do that. And it is something that they do regularly. Just because you do something regularly don't mean it's right. And I have seen that before, and I've always hated it. And you put all that pressure on you. Now you're sitting there all sweating, and you like, and he's like, we not leaving till we get read more. They do that with money, and they do that with people they want to join the church.
Yeah,
we need 4 more. I know it's 4 more souls
they
in here.
From the Lord.
I know it. I know it. No, it's not. You don't know it.
Can I say something? One more thing.
He is sitting there. Nobody's coming up here. Now people are going up there just to get out of church. and you can't tell me the Lord told you to lock the door.
You can't say what the Lord told him. But I just wanted to get your opinion on that as a minister.
He said, let my people go.
I'll say, like, let me say this. Listen, I just want to end with this. Every building with a cross on it is not a church. Ooh. Sometimes it gives cult vibes. So let's be clear about that. I think is a certain when God shows up, you know, like when the Spirit shows up, you know, and again, I think it's just a certain way to go about it. You don't have to sell anybody Jesus. Jesus is already who he is.
Come on.
So that all in all, some people feel like they're doing the right thing when you always should do the righteous thing. So just go about it in a way where it's digestible to the people, and it's not coming across cringy. It's other ways to go about that.
Yeah, fish fries, like we always did back in the day.
When the man of God asks you for $40, get a man of God $40.
No.
All right.
Now, Pastor, you give 100.
Let me let the minister go, man. Minister Andy, thank you so much.
I saw your beans out there in the front. I know you got 60 for me.
Yeah, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us, man. You're great. You're great. Continue good work, too.
All right. Appreciate y'all.
Love. I was real good.
Yeah, I mean,
I like having that conversation. That was a good conversation.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, our friend Justin Carter is back this week with another edition of TSR Investigates. Let's take a look at what he's up to.
What would you do if you gave birth to a healthy baby girl?
And I'm like, why is her face burnt?
And they burned her face at the hospital.
It was like a scary movie, literally, like a live scary movie.
Doctors first insisted something was wrong with the baby. She was passed around at 2 different Philadelphia hospitals until mom, she started noticing a pattern. Not only did her baby start getting burns and rashes, she says the hospital went behind her back and gave the newborn dose after dose of narcotics and other drugs. Drugs, she says, killed her baby.
They failed me, but in all reality, they failed her.
I'm Justin Carter. This is TSR Investigates.
That's heavy. That is heavy. I could not imagine having my child in the hospital. First of all, the burn would have sent me over the... But then y'all giving the baby and the baby wind up like dies? Like, that's insane. Oh my God. Y'all have to be raising money to get me out.
Yeah, you gotta watch that TSR Investigates. As a person that had a child that was was born with some difficulties, that is a trying time.
Yes.
That is a extreme trying time. And you watching everything. I could not imagine even that situation even happening to me or anybody I knew. So prayers going out to her, and I know Justin Carter's gonna get down to the bottom of that.
Yes, baby. At the end of the day, my name would be on the hospital. It'd be Keke's hospital when I get done with him. But
I'm locking it up like John Q.
Come on now.
Y'all gotta give me some answers.
That's crazy. But we'll be tuned in, of course, to watch Justin get to the bottom of it. But we'll also be back next week, Roomies, with more Shade Room headlines, debates, and of course, trending topics.
And if you have a tip, a scoop, something you want us to talk about, all you got to do is hit us up.
Absolutely. Until next week, remember, represent the culture with excellence. Woo woo.
Woo woo.